My elephants were captured in Africa. They were literally stolen from Africa. I am not the guy that went to Africa and took these elephants. I am the guy that cleaned up his mess.
When I started with the elephants, my promise to them was, I'm going to stay with you until one of us dies.
So we did this for 25 years. I'm giving my life to them to give them a life. So as long as I would give them my entire life, their life came out perfect. I didn't go to a university and have a mentor. The elephants were my mentor. They were my professor. They were the ones that I learned from. I got my education from an elephant. I lived it. I lived with an elephant. I slept with an elephant. I ate with an elephant. I learned about life from an elephant. And what it really takes to mean it, when you mean it, it's inside, it's in your heart, it's truly, you become something. And so being the elephant man is what I became from observing and learning and feeling everything they did. Once you take one of these animals on, you're in, you're all in, and you're in for the life of that animal.
28 years, every waking moment together, and then one day, it was over. He just fell on his back legs, just laid over, gave this huge rumble, and then he died.
Then I was the elephant man with no elephants. I was just brokenhearted. Literally, my best friend just died. I didn't have any answers, so I had to come up with these answers. I just went home and got on my motorcycle and didn't come back for a few days. It was just time for me to reflect on, the past, what had just happened, what I was going to do with my life. The elephants' lives, their lives were an enormous part of my life. When Kimbo died, I wondered, would I be able to fill this hole that he filled inside me? This is the elephant barn. This is where Kimbo and Cora spent their last nights of their life. This is realistically where he died. He took his last breath right in the spot that I'm standing. It hit me hard at first because I did not know what to do. 28, 29 years, day after day after day of literally figuring out elephants in a different way.
One day it just hit me. I worked too hard. I have too much knowledge. I cannot just let this go. I've got to do something with all this knowledge.
I all of a sudden had this epiphany of, wait a minute, man, I can start teaching people things that I know about elephants in different places. You know, trying to give an elephant a life in captivity is the whole trick. I ended up with these two elephants because they were captured in Africa. One, Timbo, was brought to a game park in Canada. Cora went to a circus. The game park closed down. Cora kept screwing up in the circus. They both ended up at Shambhala. Well, I wish they were never captured in Africa. But since they were, somebody has to do something with these animals in captivity. They took their first breath in Africa. They were captured in Africa, and they took their last breath with me. So since they died in California, I figured the most noble, respectful thing I could do for them is to take this piece of ivory to Africa and bury it. So then it started this whole African journey idea. It became a quest. It became so important for me to do this. I was going to figure out how to do it no matter what. I figured I'd find a magical place that only I knew when I found it. It would be the place, and I wanted this whole fantasy of digging my hand into the red African soil and burying this ivory and patting it down, letting a herd of elephants walk over it. I thought that would seal this whole deal. I thought Africa would be the romantic fantasy that I've had since childhood. I knew Africa would be the perfect place to honor my elephants and bring this chapter to an end. We got to Africa, we ended up on this like 75,000 acre preserve. And we went there to basically search out their elephants.
Yeah, this whole Africa hot thing, man, just is not happening. I'm sorry to say in front of the camera, it's bullshit. It is not hot here. It is freezing.
Day one, in a game preserve, not feeling it at all. So far, the foliage looks exactly like home. Looks like Acton, you know?
You know, I've been with a lot of people that have taken safaris and they've gone to Africa, and basically they're coddled in a globe.
All the people we saw having dinner last night are up in those balloons right now.
This place is a trip. This is not working for me. I feel like a friggin' tourist. I'm the elephant man. You know, I lived with elephants for 30 years and I'm stuck in a goddamn Jeep. You know, this is just not, this is not it, man. See, I've got to be at least standing in that bush. I'm not some basic everyday tourist that's sitting here in awe. You know, that's not why I came 8,000 miles from home to try to do something respectful for the spirit of my elephant, to sit my ass in a Jeep. No, thank you. This was not the Africa that I had in mind.
People say you get this feeling inside you when you come to Africa, that you feel this whole magical feeling like if this is where man was created and the first animals roamed the earth. And I'm not feeling nothing. I'm still really looking for Africa, and try to find something that gets inside me that I will feel. I'll know when it's the right spot, the right place. After a couple of days, we were introduced to a wildlife scientist, Audrey Delsink.
And we're going from here to here.
Yeah. And we went with her to track a herd of elephants. You would not believe how difficult this is. We were out for hours and hours and hours tracking 70 elephants. 70 elephants! I can't find them. I'm the elephant man. I can't find 70 elephants.
This whole thing, man, is definitely not the way I thought it was going to be. I mean, every day of my life for the last 30 years with Timbo, none of it was easy, but it was an unbelievable journey. And so this is turning out to be another one of those unbelievable journeys that I have to figure out a way to form it, to, you know, just to make it work.
Day 5, and we still hadn't found any elephants. Finally, after a while, found this herd of elephants, which was exciting. That's a good-looking elephant. Shambhala was a place where Kimbo and Cora had a great life, but they never knew this life. 30 years it took me to get here. One of the things that blew my mind in Africa is when we found these elephants, and you know, they were in such a big area. That was the cool thing, was they had so much room to move. It's enormous. It's, you know, thousands and thousands of acres where at least these animals can do some sort of migration. They can do some sort of natural things because it is so big, it's so vast. There's so much land for them to move around. This one elephant, a baby elephant, came running out in the middle of the road. The mother came out and sort of swished us away with her trunk, then took her trunk and put it over the baby to protect the baby, and then took her trunk and shooed the baby off into the bushes, doing all the unbelievable, beautiful, natural things that animals do in the wild. First thing that someone would notice, I did not leave Timbo in Africa. And the whole reason for going to Africa, I thought at the beginning, when I had the idea, was this beautiful, magical, wonderful dream of taking Timbo back to where he came from and return him to Africa. It didn't work out that way. And I thought, you know what I'm doing? Is I'm doing the same thing man has been doing since the beginning of time. Seeking something out, leaving his home turf, going across the other side of the world, looking for beauty and magic and wonder. And once I got there, I realized the beauty and the magic and the wonder was at home. I have some of the best memories of my life walking around this field with 2 African elephants. People would stop on the side of the road. You could hear people. It's weird the way the sound travels. because we're down in a canyon. So you could hear people going, "Stop, there's a guy with an elephant." And you know, the other guy going, "Well, you're, what?" And then you could literally hear their voices, hear exactly what they're saying. And they just pull over and go, "Oh my God, there is a guy, and he's got 2 elephants." I'm just a dude riding my elephant in a riverbed. And that's what I did, man, year after year after year. Part of Shambhala's mission is to educate the public on exotic animals. Today at Shambhala we got 60 cats. Lions, tigers, leopards, cougars, lynx, servals, and 1 liger. That's what Shambhala is about. It's a place for people to come and observe the animals and to learn about the animals, and educating the public on the problem with these exotics. Therefore, when I say the problem, I mean people buying and selling and trading and breeding and shucking these animals around like commodities that they do not belong in captivity. I mean, look at all this. There's 35 acres out here. I have a lot that I'd like to do with this property. But this is undeveloped land right now, and we would like to expand just to give our animals more room. That's our whole motto, our whole meaning behind these animals is to literally give them the best life we possibly can, and that equals room. The day I die, I figured there's going to be a dude in a room and he's going to have this big book, and he's going to open the book and my name's going to come up and he's going to read Chris Gallucci, and he's going to go, "Look, you screwed this up, you screwed this up, and this up." Then he's going to get to the elephant part and he's going to say, "You kept your promise. You're in."